So, Friday night, you're standing in the kitchen with your coat on. Your friend just texted asking if you're still coming and you want to go, but you picture his face when you leave. Maybe he'll go quiet or say you never choose him, so you type, "Sorry, maybe next week," and hang your coat back up. He hasn't said a word, yet you're already changing your plans around his possible reaction. Later, you wonder, when did I start doing that? This is not about deciding he is a narcissist after 3 bad nights. A hard season can make 2 caring people tired and messy, but a controlling pattern leaves a trail. The rules move, your world gets smaller, and every repair asks more from you while changing less in him. Think of this as a compassionate relationship autopsy. You are putting the turning points in order to see when mutual care became one-sided management. The first turn may be hiding inside something he once promised. Take a blank page and draw 1 line across it. On the left, write how the relationship felt at the beginning. On the right, write how it feels now. Between them, mark 5 stops: promises, rule changes, shrinking freedom, repair attempts, and what followed. Add dates if you know them, or use apartments, jobs, birthdays, and holidays. Then keep 3 questions beside the line. What changed after you said no? What did peace start costing you? Did repair restore your freedom? The answer often hides not only in what he did, but in the rising price of your no. Start with the promises that mattered. Maybe he loved how independent you were. Maybe he said your friends would always be welcome, or that honesty mattered most. Those words do not prove he planned a trap. People can mean something and still fail to live by it. But the contrast matters. Your independence was once praised. Later, the same independence was called selfish. Honesty was sacred. Later, your questions became drama. Mark the moment an old promise gained a new condition. Then record what happened when you noticed the change. Maybe texting during dinner was rude until he started doing it. Maybe time alone was healthy until you asked for 1 evening to yourself. Contradictions happen. The revealing moment comes when you name one. Instead of considering it, he focuses on your tone, brings up an old mistake, and keeps turning the conversation until you apologize. He changed the rule, but you paid for noticing. Confusion now does the work of a direct command. And soon that confusion begins changing the actual size of your life. Notice which ordinary choices became harder: seeing your sister, wearing a certain dress, spending your own money, or locking the bathroom door. Control often arrives through small costs. He sighs when you leave, goes cold when you return, or asks so many questions that 1 coffee feels exhausting. He may never say, "You can't go." The choice remains technically yours, but every choice carries an emotional fee. Eventually, you choose whatever keeps the evening calm. That is how a life shrinks while the front door stays unlocked. Now compare his freedom with yours. He needs space, but your space becomes rejection. He misses a call, but your missed call becomes evidence. He vents to friends, while your friends are suddenly against us. Repeated double standards create a private rule book where he is the exception and you are on trial. When you challenge that rule book, something may be withdrawn: warmth, peace, access to money, or your sense of safety. The size of that cost shows how far the pattern has moved. Your body may have recorded the change before your mind could name it. You hear his key in the door and your shoulders rise. You scan the room, check your face, and remember what is visible on your phone. Before saying 1 simple sentence, you rehearse it. That response is information, not a diagnosis or final verdict. Pair it with facts: what he did next, how often it happened, and what you stopped feeling free to do. The clearest evidence often appears when you try to repair the problem. Find the first time you calmly named what was happening. Maybe you said, "I miss feeling like we're on the same team." Maybe you asked for 1 concrete change: no insults during fights. In mutual repair, both people carry something. They listen, name their part, and try a specific change. In a controlling pattern, your concern becomes the new offense. The original insult disappears while you defend your timing, memory, or tone. Mark that turn carefully, because what happened after the conversation matters more than what he promised during it. An apology is only the beginning of repair. "I'm sorry you felt hurt" can sound gentle while avoiding what he did. A useful apology names the behavior without making you prosecute the whole case, and then the behavior changes. Write down the apology, the next similar moment, and what he did then. The insults either stopped or returned. Your access to money was restored or remained conditional. You could see friends freely or faced another punishment mood afterward. A speech can soften one night. The sequence shows whether the relationship became safer. A burst of affection can blur that sequence. There may be flowers, huge promises, long messages, or the perfect weekend. The tenderness may feel completely real, and you do not have to label every loving moment fake. Notice what happens after you relax. The old rules may return. The warmth may disappear the next time you say no. His apology may become proof that you are never allowed to mention the hurt again. Lasting repair is not proved during a weekend designed to win you back. It appears on ordinary Tuesdays when there is nothing to perform. Now the timeline reaches its 3 tests. First, what changed after you said no? Second, what did peace start costing you? Third, did repair restore your freedom? For each test, choose one clear example and write 3 parts. What happened before, how he responded, and what you did next. Follow the sequence from hurt feelings to punishment, then to smaller choices, and sometimes to isolation or dependence. You may never know his exact intent. You can still see the effect on your life. First, what changed after you said no? Maybe no meant, "I'm going to my friend's birthday," and he stopped speaking to you for 2 days. Maybe you were not ready for sex, and his affection disappeared. Maybe you questioned a purchase and your bank card became the next fight. Track your boundary, his response, and your next choice. Disappointment is human. A caring partner can feel disappointed without making you pay. When his response repeatedly teaches you that saying no is too expensive, your consent is being shaped by consequences instead of respected. Second, what did peace start costing you? Maybe you stopped mentioning a friend because he called her a bad influence. Maybe you shared your location to prevent another argument. Maybe you laughed at a joke that hurt because you wanted bedtime to stay quiet. Each choice looks small alone. Together, they reveal who has been paying for calm. In a mutual relationship, both people give some pride, patience, and effort. If calm keeps costing you your voice, privacy, money, time, or support, it is not peace. It is self-erasure with the volume turned down. Third, did repair restore your freedom? After the apology, you should be able to disagree more safely, make plans without managing his mood, and raise the issue again without hearing, "I thought we were past this." Repair makes the relationship roomier, even when it does not make it perfect. The next honest conversation carries a little less fear and a little more skill. If every apology brings a short honeymoon and then returns you to the same smaller life, that is a cycle. Measure repair by the freedom that remains after the warmth fades. So what actually changed? It may not be that every loving moment disappeared. It may be that his comfort slowly became the main rule. Your no gain to cost. Your outside support became suspicious. Peace began depending on your silence. Repair ended when you stopped resisting, not when the harm stopped. In a rough season, both people are still allowed to be full people. Each can name harm, hear no, keep outside support, and make changes that last. The dividing line is whether the relationship can still hold your freedom when things get hard. Your page may show a messy mix, and you do not need to force a final verdict tonight. Circle the pattern affecting your freedom most, and write down 3 recent examples. Keep the notes somewhere safe and private. Tell one trusted person the plain version without defending him or attacking yourself. I've noticed I cancel plans because I'm afraid of his reaction. If you fear what he may do if he finds the notes or hears about the conversation, do not confront him just to test the pattern. A local domestic abuse service, therapist, or trusted person can help you plan around your actual level of risk. Go back to Friday night and place it on the timeline. Coat on, message waiting, plans canceled before he spoke. Noticing that moment does not make you disloyal. It means you are being honest about what the relationship is doing to your choices. You can love him and still ask, what is real now, and do I have room to be myself here? Notice which measure gave you the most clarity, the price of no, the cost of peace, or the freedom left after repair. The timeline cannot make the decision for you, but it can return the decision to you. When you feel ready, use the free quiet red flag checklist in the bio or channel links to review what you noticed gently and privately.